गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पश्चाच्चदेशकारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण हरे कृष्ण Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna
Premanande Haribo. Thank you very much to our Kirtaniyas. Hare Krishna. Very auspicious beginning. I offer my respectful obeisances to all the assembled devotees. Vancha kalpadruvascha kripa sindhabevacha patitanam pavanibhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Dear Srila Prabhupada, dear Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Shri Shri Panchatattva, Shri Shri Radha Madan Mohan, Shri Shri Radha Govinda, Shri Shri Radha Gopinath. If you so desire, please empower us in this meeting to glorify your lordships and offer you the results of our Sankirtan Yajna for your pleasure. Thank you for considering our request. This is an historic event because this is tangible service that we've done together all over the world. As Prabhupada emphasized cooperation, he in fact said it was synonymous with bhakti because tendency is for everyone to see everything differently. We're all individual souls. We all have different perceptions of the world according to our natures and the state of our minds. But when we're able to consolidate our vision around the vision of the acharyas and align that vision and our work with Lord Chaitanya's, Krishna's instructions, then it becomes a very powerful force to do good in the world. And that's what the Krishna consciousness movement is. It's a collection of souls, albeit great souls, from all over the world, each with their own particular way of seeing things, but all united around one common vision, and that is that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and that it's important to follow the mission statement, Jive Doi Krishna Nam Sarva Dharmasar, the essence of all religion, is to widely spread the holy names for the good of all jivas. That's good work if you can get it. And the fact that we have the wherewithal right now in this time in history to be united as we are around this principle of book distribution is Krishna's special mercy being extended to all of us. And the fact that all of you, all of us together, are taking it up to the best of our ability and hanging together as one global team is a great accomplishment. And today we're celebrating that accomplishment by offering the results of our book distribution that we've done together, albeit separately. Achintya Bheda Bhetafa, every continent, in fact, every temple has its own impetus. That's the beauty of this. It follows the simultaneous one and difference principle. We emphasize the unity, but the individuality is always expressed as well. So today is a series of offerings that devotees have prepared from various places from around the world. Last night, we covered the other part of the planet because we can't practically do them all at the same time. Globe's a little bit too large for us to cover both time zones at the same time. Somebody's going to end up staying up all night. So last night we had offerings from Asia and Oceania, including New Zealand and Australia and so forth. Today we have Africa, the UK, Germany, France, Benelux, Middle East, Russia, Latin America, USA, Canada, and for the grand finale, the great souls of India who are doing amazing work in such a way to inspire us all. So we're going to start off this morning with the offering given and read on behalf of the African Yatra by Her Grace Tirumala Devi Dasi, who is one of the leaders of the Sankirtan movement in Africa.
Dear Srila Prabhupada, please accept our humble obeisances at the dust of your most merciful lotus feet. All glories unto your divine grace. O Srila Prabhupada, you came to the West carrying within your heart the instruction of your spiritual master to spread Lord Chaitanya's teachings. This treasure which you distributed so freely and its impact is incomprehensible. Yet, through your books, you continued to open the eyes of the blind and illuminate the dark. On a morning walk in Denver, 1975, you said, One day they will realize what valuable books we have left for the study of the whole world. That will come. The African Yatra is grateful to have had the opportunity to be part of the global team whose aim was to distribute 2.2 million Bhagavad Gitas for the Live to Give campaign. The initiative ran for a total of 3 months, and we would like to take this opportunity to humbly offer you the results from the African Yatra. Some of the highlights of this campaign included a successful African Gita Experience program. For your pleasure, the devotees in Africa composed a cinematic overview of all 18 chapters of the Bhagavad Gita. For the purpose of the campaign, the African Sankirtan team set an overall goal to distribute 18,538 Bhagavad Gitas. As we make this offering to you, we are pleased to report that more than 28 teams and more than 400 devotees across Africa participated in the campaign. Additionally, 5 more African countries participated in this year's campaign as compared to last year. While we may not have met our overall goal, this campaign further unified our team and saw many devotees embracing new, creative ways of distributing books in the face of the challenges that they were confronted with. The team is happy to report that we were able to collectively distribute 14,578 Bhagavad Gitas. O Srila Prabhupada, we offer you all our efforts and pray to remain under your shelter so that we may continue to serve you through our service to the Sankirtan mission. We humbly pray for the mercy of the Vaishnavas so that we may continue to distribute your books all across the world as one global team. Hare Krishna, your servants, the African Sankirtan team.
When Prabhupada visited Africa and when he spoke about it, it's palpable how eager he was to see Krishna consciousness spread all over the continent. And the best way to inculcate Krishna consciousness into any culture is through literature distribution. That's why it was his premier way of establishing Krishna consciousness around the world. And we have a good start now in Africa with various areas lighting up with the maps we'll see later. And we have the vision, and so do the devotees in Africa, to see that the various languages of Africa get translated into their local dialects so the books can be flowing all over that continent. Thank you very much for your offering and for your leadership, and to all the devotees in Africa, Tirumala Devi. And now we're going over to the UK with Divyanam Prabhu, who has been helping to organize all the congregational book distribution in the UK and various places in Europe. Welcome to the offering of Divyanam Prabhu.
Dear Srila Prabhupada, please accept my most humble obeisances. All glories to you. Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Thank you very much for creating our good fortune by coming to West and introducing us to this most sublime process of Krishna consciousness. Just as we sat on our dinner table last night in the association of some devotees, one of them reminded me that how your book, especially the Bhagavad Gita, has changed his life, and I was feeling so inspired seeing this Prabhu's faith in your books and in this whole process, and I couldn't agree less with him. Srila Prabhupada, we are pleased to share this offering of our Live to Give marathon from UK for your pleasure. Our goals for this marathon was to distribute at least 28,000 Bhagavad Gitas all over the UK. Below are some of the highlights for this marathon. We had Live to Give seminar in November, which was facilitated by His Grace Vaisheshika Prabhu and Mother Nirakula, which was attended by over 150 devotees from all over the UK. Over 600 devotees took part in this marathon. Over 140 children took part in the marathon. These transcendental books of yours, especially the Bhagavad Gita, was distributed door to door, shop to shop, street to street, supermarket to supermarket, table to table, phone to phone, school to schools, business, prisons, care homes, hospital, libraries, and many other places. Over 20 Sangha groups from various temples, including the Dev Sangha, Menti groups, and many Bhakti Vriksha groups across the UK took part in this wonderful activity. Sacred Street Party took part from Bhaktivedanta Manor. Gita Project also placed thousands of Gitas during this Live to Give campaign. More than 5,000 packets of cookie prasadam were distributed, and the following temples took part in this wonderful Live to Give effort: ISKCON London Soho, ISKCON Wales, ISKCON South London, ISKCON Newcastle, ISKCON Leicester, ISKCON Reading, ISKCON Manchester, and Bhaktivedanta Manor. ISKCON Wales had their best marathon in 2021, topping last year's all-time high by 75%. ISKCON London also grew their book distribution efforts by 60% compared to last year. ISKCON South London had many leaders going out every day of this effort and distributing many Bhagavad Gitas. On 8th of December 1973, you wrote to His Grace Rai Prabhu, "Thank you very much on your book distribution programs and for carrying on so enthusiastically. Kindly offer all the devotees that my deepest gratitude for their wonderful service in this connection. I understand from Kalandhara that you are one of the most staunch supporters and workers for distributing our books, and I assure you that it is the highest service to my Guru Maharaj. Thank you very much. We therefore hope that we have pleased you and your Guru Maharaj through this 3 months long yajna. The results are as follows. We are pleased to report that the goals of distributing 28,000 Bhagavad Gitas have been met and smashed. Below are the final scores for the participating temples. Bhaktivedanta Manor distributed 19,240 Bhagavad Gita against a goal of 10,000. The ISKCON Karuna Bhavan in Scotland distributed 1,976 Bhagavad Gita against a goal of 1,008 Gitas. ISKCON London Soho distributed 5,297 Bhagavad Gita against the pledge of 1,500 Bhagavad Gitas. ISKCON Wales distributed 9,000 against their goal of 7,000, and ISKCON Leicester distributed 1,131 Bhagavad Gitas, and ISKCON Reading distributed 575, and South London distributed 3,464 against the goal of 3,000 Bhagavad Gitas. In total, all the UK temples distributed 40,683 Bhagavad Gitas against the pledge of 28,000 Bhagavad Gitas. Srila Prabhupada, you mentioned on one occasion that your report of the book distribution is very encouraging. And we are very happy that this report of ours from the UK is also encouraging and for your pleasure, Srila Prabhupada. We hope that we have pleased you by these efforts, and we pray to you and to the Lordships that you kindly grant pure devotional service to all the devotees who participated in this wonderful effort. In conclusion, we hope to continue the spirit of giving throughout the year by trying to expand our capacity in UK by at least 20% more books being distributed in UK for your pleasure and for Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pleasure. Srila Prabhupada Historical Book Marathon Live to Give 2021 Ki Jai.
Thank you very much to Divyanand Prabhu and the whole Yatra of the UK. And he mentioned at the end there about looking forward to a 20% increase over the next year. This is not accidental or randomly that he said this. The devotees from Europe met and decided amongst themselves that they would increase by 20% every year over the next 5 years. So we're going to be coming around to every one of the continents and talking about a 5-year plan so we can look at our global goals together in 5 years and see how we've increased. So now we're moving over to hear from Jai Nitai Prabhu in Germany.
Hare Krishna, dear Srila Prabhupada, please accept our humble obeisances. All glories to your lotus feet. All glories to your wonderful mission of distributing Krishna consciousness all over the world. All glories to the wonderful books you have left for the world. We assembled to present the results of the Live to Give campaign in 2021 for Germany. We have had the goal of distributing 6,000 Bhagavad Gitas during that campaign. We had 13 temples participating and 73 devotees. The annual marathon was happening, and especially to mention is Paramatma Krishna Babu, who won this year the marathon with an extraordinary result of 6,042 book points. Unfortunately, we missed the goal by 21 books, so by 21 Bhagavad Gitas. We have 5,979 Bhagavad Gitas we could distribute by your mercy, and we're very happy about the results and sad that we didn't distribute more, but still happy for each Bhagavad Gita we were able to distribute by your mercy. We hope to continue doing service in the mission of book distribution, and we hope to be able to increase more and more. And we wish all the people who got the mercy of your books that they might be able to understand the value, appreciate it, and pick up Krishna consciousness. Please bless us, and thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
We can hear in these prayers a similar vein in which Srila Prabhupada was praying on the Jaladuta, that please let people be able to understand this. And also appreciate it from Jai Nitai Prabhu's offering on behalf of all of the devotees of Germany, how he was considering even one book to be important, and also lamenting the fact that they couldn't do one more or several more or thousands more. And this mood is very powerful. It's aligned with the mood of the Vaishnavas headed by Srila Prabhupada. We're following in his footsteps. Well done, Germany. Congratulations. And now we're coming to one of the most exciting places on earth, France, where we're seeing a renaissance. We looked at the numbers from France back in the 80s. They were huge. And now the devotees there are rallying and making a comeback. And it's so exciting to see the energy being created by His Holiness Janananda Swami Maharaj and all the exalted devotees of France. So let's see their offering.
Jai Shri Prabhupada Ki Jai. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namane Namaste Saraswate Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvasesha Sunyavadi Pastichade Shatarine. Dear Shri Prabhupada, this is Janananda Goswami from France. I'd like to offer you the results of our endeavors this year on the Live to Give campaign for the French Yatra. You have been our inspiration throughout this little endeavor, small as it may be. We hope that we can increase more and more. But your words of inspiration are always with us, and how much you appreciated the endeavor of your followers to distribute these books in large numbers. The sales figures you once wrote, "This is my only solace in my life. When I hear that my books are selling nicely, I become like a young man." We also experience this, Srila Prabhupada, that when we have this privilege of distributing your books, we also feel like there's no time, like a timeless road. Age or whatever obstacle may appear to be there just evaporates in the dust of your lotus feet as we distribute your books. This year in France, we tried our best to distribute as many as we could to contribute towards this worldwide campaign for your pleasure. And we set a target for 8,000 Gitas during this 3-month period, and the devotees in France managed to distribute 8,691 Bhagavad Gitas, mostly in French, but we also distributed quite a few English Bhagavad Gitas, Spanish Bhagavad Gitas, and a few Indian, Tamil and Bengali Gitas, and Arabic Bhagavad Gitas on the streets, mostly of Paris and other cities in France. We also had the Christmas or the Prabhupada Marathon in December. We set a target of 6,000 Gitas, and we managed to do 6,411 Gitas. Especially on the last day, I wasn't aware that we were continuing with this offering to you until the first week of January rather. We finished our marathon on the 31st of December. On the last day, devotees all over France went onto the streets of wherever they were living, many hundreds of devotees, and we distributed over 700 Bhagavad Gitas on the last day of the marathon. We hope that we would have at least 108 devotees participating in this little offering to you, Srila Prabhupada. We managed to get over 140, maybe 150 altogether, devotees distributing books for your pleasure here in France, and we hope that we can increase this more and more and more. And there's nothing can compare, no matter what the obstacles which may come along. We had plenty of, we could say, obstacles on our path to Srila Prabhupada from even before the marathon started. But when we take shelter of your instruction to distribute your books, all the obstacles, they evaporate, they go into the background as you kindly give us your mercy to carry on this wonderful service for your pleasure and for the benefit of the whole world. Thank you very much, Srila Prabhupada, for giving us this opportunity, and we hope we can continue to do this for as long as you wish. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai Janananda Swami Maharaj ki jai. All glories to the devotees in the French Yatra and your amazing increases in book distribution. And considering the rally Maharaj talked about, one can think about what it's like to distribute one Bhagavad Gita in France. It's quite a bit different than distributing one Bhagavad Gita anywhere else. Every region has its characteristics, and the people there have their relative receptivity to the message of Bhagavad Gita. So we applaud all the devotees all over the earth who are adapting to whatever situations they're in and going forward to make Bhagavad Gita available in all of Prabhupada's books. That was beautiful. Thank you so much. And now we get to go to another part of Europe just before we have a quiz break. So we're going now to Benelux, and Rati Manjari Devi will be presenting on behalf of Benelux. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Jai Srila Prabhupada. Please accept our most humble obeisances in the dust of your lotus feet. All glories to you. Yeah, here we are gathered to give you the results of the Prabhupada Live to Give Marathon of 2021 of the Benelux Yatra. That's Belgium, Netherlands and Luxembourg. And on behalf of Yadurani Prabhu, the Sankirtan leader of Belgium and Luxembourg, and myself, Rati Manjari, we'd like to share some of the highlights. First of all, our pledge was pretty massive, with 5,000 Bhagavad Gitas. We are a small yatra, but we thought let's try. So some of the highlights were that it was noted that there was an unusual stream of very sincere visitors to Radhadesh, our country community. Many of them got books, and they all became connected to the Bhakti Note group and online things, so they're all cultivating their Krishna consciousness together. Another wonderful thing was that there was the Bhaktas in Radhadesh. They also wanted to have the taste of book distribution, so they went out in cars and they slept over with friends of Krishna, and they got this taste that they really like to do books. So now they've started to collect donations for a Sankirtan van, So, and the donations are pouring in. So this year probably there will be a van which carries devotees and lots of your transcendental books, so that many people in Belgium can become blessed. In Holland, one of the highlights also was that new devotees came out on Sankirtan. At least 9 devotees went out for the first time, being trained by elderly devotees more experienced, and all of them really loved this special taste of freedom and joy that one gets when one engages in book distribution. So all of them also said, and many more that were not able yet to go out, that they want to do this again. So we're going to have more Sankirtan devotees in the Benelux. Jai! So, and then there's a special mention for a new initiative by His Grace Radha Achyuta Das, disciple of His Holiness Jayapataka Swami, who created Sankirtan Online. That's a platform where online book distribution is being offered. And Bhaktin Celine also was very successful in opening up distributing Gitas in the yoga circles online. Gita Govinda helped, and together these 3 distributed 524 Gitas. So the total that we were able to distribute, we unfortunately did not yet do the 5,000, but we got 68% of our goal accomplished. We distributed a total of 3,434 Bhagavad Gitas and 6,497 medium books. So we hope that pleases you very much. And more than 10 temples took part, which was great. And we want to acknowledge all the devotees, and the message is too short to acknowledge everyone, but we really appreciate your help. And we look forward to a great new year of Sankirtan. Srila Prabhupada, please empower us that we can be worthy and effective assistants in your mission and make everybody Krishna conscious and happy. Hare Krishna, thank you very much. Gaur Premananda, Haribol.
Thank you, Rati Manjari, and all the devotees of Benelux. And amazing increases with new devotees coming out for Sankirtan and tooling up this important point that she made in the report about getting a new Sankirtan van. We should not spare any expense to increase infrastructure, always buy the best tools, get vans, get whatever is necessary, because when we use our resources to expand Sankirtan, then they come back in multiples. And the yajna, when the yajnas increase, then everything else increases along with it. Well, I promised you a quiz, so now we have an opportunity to use our brain power to answer a few questions. Are you all ready? I have to see if you're ready. You give me a thumbs up or something. Rati Manjari's ready. Okay. Premi, Devidasi's ready. Prema, Prabhu is ready. Rohini, okay. Here comes your quiz. Get ready.
All right, so we have 6 questions today that we're going to be going through. You will see a pop-up on your screen and you're just going to choose the right option. They're all multiple choice and fairly easy, so you should all do really well. So our first question is, what is the magic mantra to make it all happen? Options are: we don't believe in magic, assume it can be done, and nothing ever happens anyways. So go ahead and choose the right option on your screens right now. You should see all 3 options there, A, B, and C. I'm going to give it a few more seconds for everyone to chime in. We've got quite a few devotees here, so let's get our votes in. All right, we got most devotees choosing assume it can be done. As you know, it's our anthem for last year as well as going into this year. If you haven't listened to the song, do check it out on our YouTube channel. It's become a hit and people are singing it all over the world. So definitely check out the song. And we always believe that we assume it can be done. And that's the magic mantra that changed it all. Next question is, what was the goal for the 2021 Live to Give campaign? at least 2.2 million Bhagavad Gitas, at least 1 million Bhagavad Gita, as many Gitas as you like. There are no hard and fast rules. And I see the answers pouring in at a fast speed here. I'll give it a couple of seconds. And as we all know, our goal for 2021 was at least 2.2 million Bhagavad Gitas together all over the world. At the end of today's event and presentation, we'll find out exactly how we did as one world team. So definitely hang around for that. Let's go to our next question, which is, we set goals because we like to crunch numbers and follow up for scores, because of what it makes of us in achieving them, or just for fun, because there is nothing else to do. And going to give some time here for the team to jump in and give the answers. And of course, we set goals because of what it makes of us in achieving them. As Vaisheshika Prabhu says, any number greater than 0 and not less than 1. And that moves us in the right direction as individuals, as a community. So definitely we're doing it to improve and transform ourselves. And yeah, we also like to crunch some numbers at times, because numbers help us improve. What gets measured gets improved. All right, 3 more questions for you all. This is a good one. This year we celebrated World Gita Day for the first time. The second time, what is World Gita Day? So answers coming in for this. Let's see. We have most devotees picking the right choice here. This was the second year of the World Gita Day. Last year was the first time we did it. The World Gita Day is a global event showcasing the impact of Bhagavad Gita and its distribution around the world. And a lot of you participated. We had representation from over 12 regions from around the world. So a huge success in 2021, and we're definitely looking forward to it in 2022. Next question for today is, what are the 4 keys to Sankirtan growth? We lost the keys several decades ago. Goals, advocacy, training, and empowerment. And no matter what the key is, I can't open this lock. So everyone's picking the right answer, and which is the 4 keys are goals, advocacy, training, and empowerment, which stands for the GATE principle, so GATE. We'll hear more about it as we go through this year, about how we can bring these principles into our communities and really grow Sankirtan individually as well as a collective. So last question for our quiz time today is, I think I only have 5 questions today. So that's all from the quiz deck. We're going to head back into listening to more offerings from around the world. Thank you.
Really high scores. I think that as a group, it went into the genius level. Everyone can join Mensa. Please, we'll send out a sign-up form so you can get into Mensa after passing today's quiz of 5 questions. Nicely done. So we now are continuing to hear from a few places around the world. And it's a great pleasure for me to introduce to you today Sri Ballabha Prabhu, emissary to the GBC from Madhya Purva Deshas, and he'll be talking about the efforts and the great efforts and results coming from the Middle East. The results were great too, but birds fly in the sky as high as they can. And they're doing an amazing job there in the Middle East, working together. So let's hear.
Dear Srila Prabhupada, please accept our humble obeisances at your lotus feet. All glories to your divine grace. We are gathered here today to offer the results of Madhya Purva Deshas on the Live to Give campaign, which was of 3 months in duration. Team Madhya Purva Deshas set a goal to distribute 40,000 Bhagavad Gitas for this campaign. We are in this VUCA world full of volatility, uncertainty, complexity, and ambiguity, and COVID made it extreme. We took inspiration from your words, from your lecture on the 21st May 1972. So, to accept any situation as Krishna's mercy is to advance in spiritual life. You just try your best to serve Krishna. And if any perplexing circumstances arise, just pray to Krishna to give you strength. During this time, the devotees tried their best to come up with different ideas to expand book distribution. Books were brought into the various deshas, Damodar Desh, Balram Desh, Shama Desh, Avatari Desh, carefully and distributed as physical books were distributed discreetly. Devotees called their friends, office colleagues, family members to inspire them to give gifts of Bhagavad Gita to their relatives in India through e-book distribution. And then these were posted through the various temples in India to the respective addresses. Devotees also called and collected Gita Dan from pious people to support free book distribution in Africa, Bangladesh, villages in India, tribal care programs, schools and jails. We also started tele-sales using our historical database of e-book orders. Devotees called and encouraged people to donate for Gitas. By your mercy, we have seen very good response. As we make this offering, we are pleased to report that all the goals have been successfully met, surpassed and smashed. Just to mention a few, Avatari Desh leading with 12,000 plus books, Balaram Desh 6,000 plus books, Gauranga Desh 3,000 plus books, Kanya Desh 7,500 plus books, Krishna Katha Desh 10,000 plus books, Mathura Desh 4,000 plus books, Sanatan Dham 2,250 plus, Shama Desh 4,600 plus, and Damodar Desh 10,000 plus, overall totaling to around 60,600 Bhagavad Gitas, which is 150% of the original target set for this year. We are still short of 16,000 Gitas compared to last year's target. Hence, all Sankirtan leaders are still striving hard to bridge this gap by the end of Jan 22, and we'll be able to continue to support various book distribution programs we have started last year. We pray at the lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to empower us in our work together as one global team to spread the Sankirtana movement all over the world. Thank you all. Thank you.
Wow, what a powerful presence from Sri Vallabha Prabhu. Amazing. And very forceful. That's the mood we get from that yatra. They're very united. The leadership is very powerful there. They have unshakable faith in Guru, Sadhu, and Shastra. And under unusual circumstances, they're rising to the occasion. It's such a great inspiration for all of us. And speaking of inspirations, one of my great inspirations on the planet today is Ambarishi Maharaj, who will be making the next offering. Russia has been alacritous in the way they've risen to the occasion of spreading book distribution all over Russia. Again, one of the most difficult places to distribute books. If we put a weighted average in various places based on how difficult it is under circumstances to distribute books, there's definitely, this is a consideration in Russia. So let's hear how the amazing devotees in Russia have done.
Srila Prabhupada, dear Shishi Gormitai, please accept my humble obeisances. On behalf of Russian team Live to Give campaign, we want to offer results of this campaign in duration of 3 months. Around 100 devotees of Russia reported and participating of this campaign. Around 20 temples also reported. The total result of the team of Russia is around 7,000 Bhagavad Gitas. We set a goal of 6,000 Gitas and we smashed this goal and we distributed 7,000 Bhagavad Gitas. The main highlights was Gita Jayanti Day. More than 50% of these results came on Gita Jayanti Day. Also, book distribution was going on online. We have a nice team distributing books in the internet shop Wildberries. And also some devotees went out on the streets on this day, and another half is from this team. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Jai, thank you, Amrishi Maharaj, and all glories to the Russian Yatra, smashing their goals. And we felt a surge of enthusiasm. There is a wave, ever-rising wave of enthusiasm that comes from Russia. And we take great inspiration from that yatra. Thank you very much. And now we're coming to one of the most joyful, lively yatras on the planet, which is Latin America. And we're going to hear an offering in a couple of seconds coming from Aravinda Prabhu, and it's being translated by Prema Prabhu, to hear how this continent with the most potential, in my opinion, of excelling and coming to the top did for the Live to Give Marathon.
Hare Krishna, queridos miembros de la Congregación Latina, acepten por favor mis humildes reverencias, glorias de Srila Prabhupada. Bueno, en nombre del BBT y de ISKCON, quiero agradecerles de todo corazón a todos los devotos que tanto directa como indirectamente nos han apoyado esta maratón de libros durante diciembre del 2021. Como ustedes saben, tenemos la convicción de que la distribución de libros es labor de cada uno de los miembros de la congregación. La distribución de libros no solo es importante desde el punto de vista de la cantidad de libros que nos planteamos distribuir, los objetivos prácticos que tenemos para distribuir, sino también es necesario que la sociedad en general sienta nuestra presencia en sus vidas, vea el esfuerzo maravilloso que están haciendo los devotos y devotas al salir a las calles, ir a las cárceles, a los hospitales, a las bibliotecas. También es importante entender que a veces la gente no va a querer los libros y va a sentir desconfianza de nosotros, nos van a ver como si fueran una amenaza, y eso también es importante para como una oportunidad de demostrar nuestro afecto espiritual hacia toda entidad viviente, y que poquito a poco, con la paciencia que tienen los misioneros de Srila Prabhupada, ellos puedan ir cambiando ese concepto. Entonces tiene que ir poco a poco. También darle gracias a los devotos de la retaguardia, del equipo del BBT, que han hecho una labor inmensa. Muchos devotos del equipo BBT han estado colaborando. En las distintas comunidades también, devotos de la retaguardia que han asistido a los distribuidores de libros, los han recibido, les han dado ánimo, les han dado prasad, alojamiento. Muchísimas gracias también de corazón para ellos. Un especial agradecimiento a nuestros gurús, que nos han apoyado, nos han dado entusiasmo, nos han dado clases, han dado grandes donaciones también de Bhagavad Gita para que puedan ser repartidos en todas las instituciones.
Now I will translate when he finished, so it will be...
Bueno, solo me recuerdo, Raghunath Das Goswami, él decía que tenía un voto de ofrecer reverencias a muchos devotos durante cada día. Nosotros también tenemos este sentimiento de ofrecer cientos y cientos de reverencias al pueblo de los pies de cada uno de los devotos y devotas que han ofrecido este servicio. Muchísimas gracias. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai, Sankirtan Jai Ki Jai.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Dandavat pranams, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. So I will read the translation. Sorry that we couldn't do it at the same time. So this will be the way the better way, we think. Hare Krishna, dear members of Latin congregation, please accept our humble obeisance. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. On behalf of BBT and ISKCON, I would like to thank all the devotees from our heart who have directly and indirectly support this book marathon during 2021. As we know, we are convinced that book distribution is the task of the members of each of the congregation. Distribution is not only important from the point of view of the number of books that we intend to distribute and practical objectives that we have to distribute, but it is also necessary to the society in general feel our presence in their lives. So the wonderful effort that devotees are doing, going out to the street, going to the prisons, hospitals, libraries, it is also important to understand that sometimes people will not want the books, and they may mistrust us. They may see us a threat, and that is also important for us and give us an opportunity to show our spiritual aspect toward everyone. Little by little, by the patience that Srila Prabhupada missionary have, they can change the concept. Also, thanks the devotees of the rear, the BBT team, who have done an immense job. There are many devotees who have been collaborate in different communities. They have assisted the book dealers, receiving them, giving them encouragement, prasadam, accommodation. Thank you very much from my heart to them. A special thanks for our gurus who have support us, given enthusiasm, giving classes, large donations of Bhagavad Gita, so they can be distributed in these institutions. I remember the Raghunath Das Goswami said that he had vowed to offer obeisance to many devotees every day. We also have that feeling of offering hundreds and hundreds of obeisances on the dust of the lotus feet of each of the devotees who have served. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Sankirtan Yagya ki jai. This is Aravinda Prabhu's words. Hare Krishna.
Hi. Thank you very much from the Latin American Yatra. And we're reminded as we hear each offering of the prayers that the various devotees offer in the Srimad Bhagavatam to Nrsingadev, to the Lord in his various pastimes, which reveals the hearts and the intentions to serve in the hearts of the devotees. And we're getting that same mood now, hearing from our brethren, our God sisters, God brothers all over the world. And this is a very enlivening experience. So what do you have now, Anukul Seva?
Yeah, so we're just going to take a quick short break from the offerings. We have a few more to go, but we have a very special video that we would like to play for everyone, produced by Amanda Vikram Prabhu, shot by Priya Kishori Mataji, so thanks to them. And this talks about how book distribution is our mainstay, and by doing that, we can, lift our communities together. So let's quickly watch this, this production.
The more we give, the more we grow. We're a giving movement. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and the Panchatattva distributed Krishna consciousness with abandon. It's described how they broke open the storehouse of love of God and ate and distributed its contents. The more that they distributed, the more it increased. Prabhupada said it himself. As we expand book distribution in as many languages as possible all over the world, he said, the Krishna consciousness movement would automatically increase. That's powerful. We can depend on book distribution. It is our mainstay. It is authorized by the acharyas. It pleases Srila Prabhupada. And the more we do it, the happier we become and the more prosperous. Those centers that are emphasizing book distribution and increasing book distribution are finding an influx of resources and people. We want a mission that is dynamic, and book distribution is unassailable and extremely powerful and dynamic. That's what we need, and that's what we're looking for. It goes well to increase all of the programs that we're doing together around the world, because a rising tide rises all boats. Now we're moving up to Canada, and we're coming gradually. These are the last two offerings that we have with the grand finale, and you'll see why I say that, from India. So right now we have our very dependable and enthusiastic Anuttama Prabhu, who will be giving the presentation from Canada. And we see a lot of Canadians on here today, which is heartwarming, I must say. I'm missing you all.
Hare Krishna, dear Srila Prabhupada, please accept my humble obeisance. All glories to your divine grace. My name is Anuttama Das, representing Canada, and I'm going to briefly describe to you what we have done here. Despite the challenges of the snow and ice and cold weather during the past 3 months of the Live to Give campaign and the marathon, we've been able to put on a very successful fight against Maya. So all the credit goes to the Sankirtan devotees distributing books, the Sankirtan leaders and the temple management that have been supporting this initiative. And I would like to begin by taking across the country. We had 21 centers participate this year, which is up 5 from last year. And the collaborative spirit that we see in Canada was very, very alive and active with the small, medium, and large centers working together to serve your mission. So we begin from the west to east. We had Vancouver Island participate, then we have Vancouver, we have Sharanagati Farm Community, we had Calgary, then we have Edmonton, Saskatoon, Regina, Winnipeg, Thunder Bay. Then we go to a very picturesque place, Niagara Falls. We have Burlington, we have Oakville, we have Milton, we have Brampton, we have Toronto, we have Scarborough, we have Stouffville, we have Muskoka, which is the cottage country, our capital, Ottawa, Montreal, Quebec, Fredericton, and Halifax. So all together, they all came together and participated in this Live to Give marathon. And we humbly offer this score of 26,126 Bhagavad Gitas, which is up 7% from 2020. And the devotees are really, really honored and humbled to receive your blessings and offer this unto your lotus feet. And in other news, we also remitted $158,000 to the Bhaktivedanta Book Trust in North America. And this is your heart, and it is a 60% increase from last year. Please accept this humble offering from us in Canada. All glories to you, Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna.
Nicely done, Anuttama Prabhu. Way to go. Devotees all over Canada, and extra credit and points for snow and ice, and for every degree the temperature goes down. Haribol. And now we're swinging a little further south down to America, USA. And let's hear the presentation coming through to us from one of the stalwarts of the Yatra, Nandini Kishori Devidasi, who's been helping to organize things across North America.
Dear Srila Prabhupada, please accept our humble obeisances in the dust of your lotus feet. All glories to your divine grace. We have gathered here together to offer Team USA's results for the Live to Give Marathon, which started on September 21st and ended on 7th of January. In the Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna himself states, "This knowledge is the king of education, the most secret of all secrets. It is the purest knowledge, and because it is gives direct perception of self by realization, it is the perfection of religion. It is everlasting and joyfully performed. And for one who explains this supreme secret to the devotees, pure devotional service is guaranteed, and at the end, he will come back to me." Bhagavad Gita 9.2 and 18.68. With great determination, Team USA set a goal to distribute at least 146,000 Bhagavad Gitas for the 3 months marathon. And they carried out that mission together in a spirit of cooperation. At the outset, the goal seemed impossible. But embracing the magic mantra, "Assume it can be done," devotees started taxing their brains for ideas and venues to distribute Gitas. Well, there are many highlights from around the country, and each center did their very best in serving towards this marathon. Here are some countrywide highlights. Venerable Vaishnavas joined Super Sunday Zoom calls to offer inspiration and guidance during the Live to Give marathon. North American devotees celebrated, alongside with international ISKCON communities, the first annual World Gita Day on a grand scale to popularize Bhagavad Gita all over the world. Devotees set up tables and displays all for Gita Jayanti, also known as World Gita Day, and inspired the congregations to sponsor Bhagavad Gitas. Training seminars were organized to empower the new book distributors to distribute books. Devotees all over the country, irrespective of how big or small their teams were, headed out to street corners, door to door and store to store, distributing your books. Attractive gift packages, which included a Bhagavad Gita, Prasadam cookies, and a personally signed note, were distributed door to door on doorknobs. The recipients responded by sending thank you notes and return gifts. Tens of thousands of your books were distributed through Motel Gita program to motels, hotels, hospitals, nursing homes, hospices, etc. The Little Free Library team distributed thousands of books across the USA. Devotees very enthusiastically took ownership of Little Free Libraries in their area, placing your books and refilling them at least twice a year. Arabic Sankirtan team inundated Middle Eastern stores with your mercy. They also had a traveling Sankirtan party team to different parts of California, which was a huge success. Store Sankirtans placed Spanish and English books in more than 50 stores all over the Bay Area, including major cafe chains like Starbucks, restaurants, gas stations, San Jose Flea Market, and many other Western stores. Bhakti community is offering ongoing classes for newcomers as a follow-up program to book distribution. By carefully nurturing the new corners, giving them the right dose of spiritual information, now many of them are joining the book distribution team to give others what they received. The Wisdom of the Sages podcast advertised Live to Give campaign to its listeners all across North America, and many of the listeners enthusiastically called and ordered cases of Gitas for themselves or their family members and friends. The corporate Sankirtan team did an exceptional job this year. and had great success in distributing books through phone calls, emails, and leveraging the team's personal networks and corporations. Indian store owners purchased thousands of Gitas and took the responsibility of distributing them as Diwali gifts to their customers. As we make this offering, we are pleased to report that all the goals were met, successfully met, surpassed, and smashed. 50 communities in the USA actively participated and reported their scores. With respect to the books, in all, from Bhadra Purnima until 7th January, Team USA distributed 229,818 Gitas, smashing the goal of 146,000 Gitas and surpassing the last year's total of 210,577 Gitas. We thank all the devotees who participated in this marathon, making it a great success. We are grateful to all leaders who encouraged their communities to participate in the Live to Give marathon. We express our deepest gratitude to Vaisheshika Prabhu and all the Prabhupada disciples for inspiring us to expand our services. Finally, we pray to the lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to continue to shower His mercy upon the American and global Sankirtan teams. We also pray that He gives us intelligence to work cooperatively to expand the Sankirtan movement in innovative ways that will please you, Divine Grace. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. On behalf of North American Sankirtan team, your servant Nandini Kishori Devidasi. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya evacha patitanam na pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Nicely done, Nandini Kishori. Devi, excellent job, devotees in North America, in USA. I liked the multiple streams mentioned. There are multifarious ways that one can distribute books, and tying them all together and having everyone engaged in whatever way he or she is able to do is very powerful. A lot of devotees each doing a little bit gives a huge result. And that's been one of the themes of the world team. Now we're moving over to India, the great champions of book distribution with amazing leadership. And we're going to hear an offering from Sahadev Prabhu, who is the chairman of the ICC, who worked tirelessly to help organize the huge number of individual yatras all over India. It's no small task. There's so many yatras, so many devotees, all of them eager to distribute books, and you'll see from their results how effective it has been. So let's hear from India as our grand finale before we reveal the numbers that we achieved together all over the world.
Jai Srila Prabhupada, and all glories to his glorious book distribution. For the pleasure of Srila Prabhupada and the benefit of the whole world, we are pleased to report Indian scores received so far for the December Marathon 2021. This is a good news from India. ISKCON India set a target of 2.2 million pieces of Mahabig books, but ISKCON India has ended up distributing so far 2.6 million pieces of Mahabig books. This is as per the scores that last came in, and we are short of 4,000 Mahabig book so far. Scores are still trickling in. Overall, we have a tally of 3.25 million pieces of literature in this last marathon. 3.25 million books overall. ISKCON India has come a long way. Srila Prabhupada was distributing in the alleys of Old Delhi, and I am sure he would be very pleased to see his children and grandchildren carrying on his legacy. We have an active, dedicated team of young leaders in India to infuse synergy in the field of book distribution here. This effort was headed by Praneshwar Prabhu, Vedant Chaitanya Prabhu, and many more devotees, too numerous to be named here. There are so many dedicated brahmacharis working for this cause. There are so many dedicated congregational devotees working, and the leaders are inspiring them. And we wish and pray that book distribution in India and around the world continues to grow by leaps and bounds. Hare Krishna.
All glories to the mighty India Yatra, and thank you for that beautiful offering. It was otherworldly and heartening to see how many Bhagavad Gitas and other books went out from the subcontinent of India. So now we're going to show a few slides just to tie everything up, tie everything together, just a few more minutes here. And this will give an idea of, in retrospect, of the 2021. So hearty congratulations to the whole world team. It's been an amazing experience, one that we'll never forget, how everyone rose to the occasion together. And as I mentioned before, and will continue to mention, how we cooperated despite various cultural differences, time differences, resource differences, temperature differences, political atmosphere differences, so many differences all over the world. But it's actually really fun trying to work around all of those. And we're discovering that workarounds lead to turnarounds. Never make ultimatums, always make workarounds, and make it work somehow for the sake of cooperation. Thank you for that. And so let's see a few more slides. Take that as confirmation. So we looked at the number 2.2 million very carefully. It wasn't arbitrary. We measured up and down, talked to devotees all over the world to see what was a reasonable goal that we could reach for over what we did in 2020, and came up with 2.2 million as a goal to shoot for. And again, all these goals are well reasoned, but in another sense, they're arbitrary. We could pick any number actually that's greater than 0 and not less than 1. So we say, we had this mantra that made all the difference. Assume it can be done, because there's lots of ways that we can think of that would be obstacles for us actually hitting our goals. And there's long lists. I know I've made them before, like I didn't do it because of this, because of that, and another thing. And there's another way of thinking, which is how we've all been thinking together, is assume it can be done based on the fact that Lord Chaitanya is the one doing it. We're just instruments. He wants it done, so we're doing it on his behalf. And we've noticed that that's what Srila Prabhupada did. He assumed it could be done. It looked impossible. And I think it's the most fun. And as Mahatma Prabhu said during last year's campaign, he said, it's really fun to do the impossible. In fact, that is what keeps our movement going. That's what puts the electricity in it when we do the impossible. We have to do it again and again and again to see the miracle happening. So we can afford to assume it can be done because we're being backed by Lord Chaitanya. It's not our power, it's his. Okay, here come the maps. You can have a look and see, just take these impressions in. We have a palette to work with. Here we are, dear devotees. We've been given service. And we have this earth, little tiny earth planet to work with now. It's got a lot of nice green trees, a lot of friendly animals, some unfriendly too. And we have lots of people all over the world that we can contact. How are we going to do it? So we look at Australia, we look at the other places, and we can see the beginnings of us covering the earth with the Sankirtan movement. And one of the ways we're pushing forward, the tip of the spear, is this book distribution movement that opens the door to all other programs so that they can thrive. And look at Australia, a combined effort, and boy, did they work hard. Congratulations, Australia. New Zealand, we noted last night how, although in some places you can just walk out the door and distribute books, you could set up a book table outside the temple door or your own house. New Zealand, you have to search out people. There's so few people on the continent, you have to go searching for them to find them and distribute a book. And so the devotees there have a different palette to work with, and they're doing it in amazing ways. Heroic stories pouring out of New Zealand. Fiji, we consider to be the leading indicator country. The way that the island of Fiji goes, so goes the world. And when they first started, they thought they could only do 3 or 6 books. It wasn't even a thought, how can we expand to this number? And now it's in multiples they're doing just through using the principles of spiritual encouragement and organization. Way to go, Fiji. Next, we have Asia, and we have this whole conglomerate you see over on the left of the Madhya Deshas, and they're working together in exemplary ways, organizing in circumstances where you can't go out and distribute books. They've innovated, showing how workarounds lead to turnarounds. And then we have our Pakistan heroes, heroic devotees printing their own books in Pakistan, 15,000 they distributed there. And we see Bangladesh, Thailand, Malaysia, Taipei, Hong Kong, Philippines, Japan. They're all coming up, and we're getting more and more countries involved in the G7. We're looking for people to communicate with the penguins in Antarctica, or somebody to go there and stake a flag for the Sankirtan movement. Tradas Prabhu may be that person, because he's the most intrepid of all. Okay, Trey's saying yes. That's a Italian gesticulation for yes, I'll go. India looks like Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's body at Rath Yatra, which has erupted in ecstatic symptoms. And any continent that can be covered like this, with centers distributing the Maha Mantra and books, is certainly a continent that's in ecstasy. Mother Earth doesn't like people treading on her for violent means, but she goes into ecstasy when the devotees walk upon her surface with the purpose of spreading Sankirtan movement. Look at glorious India. And yes, it all starts here and it floods the rest of the world. So we want Africa, America, South America, Fiji, every one of the countries to look like this. Keep that image in your mind, maybe make a tattoo on your way home today. Way to go, Europe. Europe's very organized. They're coming together, all the different countries. It's a diverse area, and they're making a huge comeback, a renaissance of sorts, great leadership and organization there. And we have projections for Europe to expand in multiples. So note that number at the bottom screen and watch as it grows, doubles, triples, quadruples, goes into huge percentage increases over the next 5 years. That's their intention, 20% increase every year. Go Africa. To me, the images look similar, Africa, India, but we want the African continent to go into the same kind of ecstatic symptoms as India. And obviously it's not easy in Africa. There's so many challenges, but we have so many stalwart devotees there and such a powerful start that over the next 5 years, we'll see really big increases in Africa, and we're praying for that. Latin America, all glories to the Latin American devotees. They have a rich history of spreading Krishna consciousness, and devotees are cooperating. There's great enthusiasm there. We're looking for Latin America, and big increases there as well. North America, we're increasing gradually. There's good organization there. My humble opinion, it's just my opinion, but I think North America combinedly should be rivaling India. And why not? Assume it can be done. And let's think about it and try to increase. Good job, everybody. Okay, we said 2.2 million. Let's see how we actually did. This is our calculation for the whole world, everybody. Hold on, I'm going to give you a drum roll. Oh, there it is. You have one. Go for it. 2.2. Haribo.
Hari Hari Bol.
4,044,044 Bhagavad Gitas. And those are all out there. That can't be taken back. We can't go and ask people for the books back. They're already embedded in around the earth. They're in people's houses, they're on their bookshelves, and they're having their effect right now. So there's nothing, not a more joyful sight in the whole world. We did this together, everybody. It was painstaking, but that's the kind of austerity that Rishabhadeva said, Tapo divyam putra kayena sadvam, do divine austerity. And I dare say Srila Prabhupada would approve of this kind of austerity. He always did. He always supported it. He did it himself. So let's keep doing it and expanding. Why not? We have a short stay here on earth. Let's do some major damage to Kali Yuga on our way out. What do you say? Yeah. Congratulations, everybody, for smashing the goal. That's a smash. From 2.2 to 2.8 plus is a smash. Anukul Seva Prabhu, do you have any more slides? I'd also like to point out that we have the present campaign. We had a presentation all over the world for World Gita Day. It was vastly improved over last year, and we're already planning for this year for the worldwide presentation to Glorify Gita that will be bringing in people from all over the secular world, the academic world, to glorify Bhagavad Gita and appreciate it. And we have people who have stepped up and are already planning for the next one. But it was the culmination of the World Gita Day, and it'll continue to expand and improve. Just now, we're into a very light campaign. This is not a huge marathon to push yourselves, rest your brains for a little bit until just after Gaur Purnima before we go into our next Bhadra Purnima, but it's called Be a Gardener. And during this campaign, very light, easy. All you have to do as a gardener is to share Chaitanya Charitamrita, share it. And here's 3 of the ways that you can do that. One is to display the Chaitanya Charitamrita. Go get it. Get it out of the boxes, put it out somewhere. Put it in the lobby, put it where people can see it. You don't have to do much more than that, but make it visible and the magic will happen. One of the ways you can display it is to put it on the altar, especially on Gaur Purnima. We're asking everyone to do that. It's historical. It's been done before. And we also have an opportunity to announce the glories of Chaitanya Charitamrita. Do it on the run up to the Gaur Purnima and during Gaur Purnima, because that's one of the main ways that Lord Chaitanya has manifested through the pen of Srila Prabhupada and Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami. And so make it available. And also there are a few classes we can recommend that we'll send out to everybody that you can pass on to everybody in your yatra to listen to Chaitanya Charitamrita. Be a gardener, share Chaitanya Charitamrita. Thank you, everybody. And I want to give special thanks to Shamohini and Anukul Seva Prabhus, who work tirelessly behind the scenes to make everything happen, everything. And that 24 hours a day, anytime that I contact them, doesn't matter day or night, they're always there. They're always working and ready to respond, and always with a service attitude. My deepest gratitude. And everybody who participated in the Live to Give campaign by distributing books, supporting book distribution in various ways, to all the regional leaders who took the extra responsibility of coordinating their countries and local yatras. It's a big responsibility, and it's a very high sadhana to do that, to organize book distribution. Dear Srila Prabhupada, dear Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, dear Sri Panchatattva, dear Sri Radha Madan Mohan, Sri Radha Govinda, Sri Radha Gopinath, and all the other deities in our Sankirtan movement. If you so desire, please bless and empower our global Sankirtan team so that we may be inspired to work together in cooperation, that we may always find workarounds to every problem, and then thereby find increases and ways to increase the yajna, making the yajna fire bigger and bigger every year. Please let us have compassion in our hearts for all the conditioned souls all over the world. Please let us save one soul at a time, beginning with ourselves. And please send us unlimited resources so that we may use them in your service to expand the Sankirtan Yajna and please your lordships. Thank you very much for considering our request. Everyone who agrees with this prayer in part or in whole, please unmute and say Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Kripasameva Javatitam. Hare Hare.